Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin, and this is a weather report. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for July 14th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Tuesday, we have two weak frontal systems, one stretching all the way across the north from Montana across central Wisconsin up to the Michigan Upper Peninsula and on into eastern Canada. A second frontal remnant stretching all the way from really Dallas across to Atlanta, and lots of unsettled weather across the south and southeast. Note we also have a lot of moisture flowing up with the monsoon rains all the way from Arizona and New Mexico up into Idaho. Looking at our vitality index, which is a quick measure of those areas where the individual weather elements may have an impact on human health, you can see we have a lot of spotty activity going on here up in the mountains, and a lot of this will have to do with unusual warm temperatures and even more unusual rise in humidity. Note we also have something going on in North Dakota as usual. Lots happening down here in Texas, and then activity up and down the Mississippi Valley, and then another significant area of impact up here in the Northeast where a little bit of pressure will be changing. Looking at pressure change, almost no pressure changes or not significant pressure changes away from the frontal systems except for North Dakota rising pressure and then falling pressure from eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey, New York, all the way across New England. Looking at the significant changes in temperature from day to day, it doesn't show a heck of a lot. That's because we're really cooking the frog in July. That is, temperatures are increasing steadily day by day. But note, we have a little bit of falling temperatures here. Call it moderation, probably associated with rain up here in Idaho and northern Nevada. But note that we have rising temperatures up here in New England. And looking at the change in dew point temperatures, and this is again another significant and interesting map. As you can see, we're talking about extreme temperatures up here in the northwest, but note that we're also increasing the humidity, the dew point temperatures, and that will be what brings along the health stresses. Also note that we do have some increasing vapor pressure, especially here across the northeast. Instability, still instability, but not like we've had in the recent past. There's instability up the Mississippi Valley into the northern reaches of the Ohio Valley. Always some instability down here in Gulf by Texas, and then across a little bit of Florida. But note, right through central Florida, instability tends to die out. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you can see that we have some migraine stresses along the California coast, probably San Francisco north, and then extreme northeastern California, a risk of migraine stretching on into the eastern or northernmost portions of Nevada up to eastern Oregon and all the way up through Idaho. Note we also have a significant risk of migraine down here, especially in South Texas, but really even a bit of it up into the Texas Panhandle. We also have that risk of migraine from North Dakota across southern Canada, right along the northern border. Looking at the asthma and arthritis risk, more significant for the 14th than usual, especially across southern California into western Arizona. We also have a touch of asthma and arthritis stretch all the way from Illinois across into Ohio and then down into the western sections of the Carolinas and Virginia, but then significantly across West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, and very strong across most of New England. Interesting also is note we have an asthma and arthritis risk across central Florida, which is pretty unusual at this time of the year. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.